Oh, okay. Start over.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All-Star Married at First Sight All-Star panel. I'm Glenn from Jack and Glenn. Also with me today is Chloe from the Chloe Johnson channel. Hey, Chloe, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Can't complain. Come to talk about Married at First Sight. Is it decision day yet?
I wish. How are you? Hold on. Let me
We
stop.
wish. I wish it's decision day. We're getting closer to decision day. This past week on Married at First Sight, we saw the couples actually write the letters to themselves, take their spouses back to their homes, and have a conversation with Dr. Pepper. We saw some couples open up, and some couples really don't know where they want to go yet. But I want to start with this couple who's been growing on me for the last couple of weeks, and we actually saw her open up a little bit this week. And that's Jasmina and Michael.
Yes.
Chloe, your thoughts on Jasmina and Michael?
So I know everybody kept telling me, like, he don't like her. She don't like him. She don't like him. But listen, I'm a hopeless romantic. And I really, 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 really feel like they can make it. I mean, if they would have took this episode and put it last month, they would be so far along right now. I feel like the romance would follow because now he understands how to approach Jasmina. He never had, because he kept asking her, how do I approach you? How do I talk to you? And she couldn't give him an answer. But after she opened up and gave him, like, you know, how she, like, her background, I feel like she got a clear understanding. He got a clear understanding of her. Mm-hmm. And like he'll understand that he needs to be more delicate with her. She has abandonment issues. She, you know, grew up being bullied. She has a guard up that this is why she's so cold, because if she shows no emotion, nothing can hurt her. If she doesn't let people in, then she can't get hurt. And I think that would be good for them to actually see, like, he actually hugged her. And I was happy about that. It wasn't like a warm embrace, you know, but it was a hug and it was a start. And I feel like if only they could get the romantic part, and I think that's gonna have to be Michael, because Jasmine's not gonna do it. But when she was like, he touches my hand in our sleep or whatever, she had a smile on her face, like she liked it. So I feel like just try to make your little advances at her slowly, see how far you can go. You know, push the envelope a little bit, ask to put the tip in, so you know, yeah, see what you can get out of the situation, like. A lot of men, even when they sleep with a woman, like in, you know, early ages, like when they share a bed, they try something. They've been sleeping in this bed for a while now. Try something. If she doesn't like it, stop immediately. But I think you have the green light. If you're touching her hand, go to the leg, go to the thigh, go somewhere, and I think the romance can grow. She says she feels nothing, but a part of me doesn't really believe it. Because she was real happy about the hand touching the sleep to the point where she remembers it and she's smiling about it. So I think they can make it. I don't think they will, but if we go by what the psychic said, right? The psychic said that she gonna regret it, and I really feel like she will, because Michael's a good guy, and I hope he accepts her two twins. That's it.
Yeah. You know, my thing with the media and the psychic, I always thought, you know, the psychic was talking more to Michael than Jasmina. Mm-hmm. I was just looking at the media as talking about as if they were not together. Yeah. You know, as always talking about Michael's side. And now, of course, she was on the after party talking about the media and did give some insight about her and them together. But I agree with you. I see them. I don't see them making it, but I like where they're at right now. And we said this on our review, and I always believe it. If she had done the journal exercise that Michael wanted her to do earlier, because she didn't have a problem writing her feelings and her expressions, but they gave her this exercise weeks ago at the beginning. So if she would have done the journal exercise when Michael wanted to, I agree with you. They would have been much further along than they are right now, because she'd have been able to open up. He'd be able to see her. He'll be able to communicate with her. He'll be able to know where she's coming from and why she is the way she is, how she articulates, because she's scared. Again, she doesn't want to put everything out there because of people who left her. Think about the men in her life who have left her, the men in her life who will let her down, the men in her life who haven't given her the confidence that she needed. And so therefore she needs Michael to make sure that she continue to have that confidence, or to be the support system. And he had a hard time trusting her because he didn't like, even though he shared his family struggles with him, it wasn't all of him. And so I think he didn't know how to communicate at first. And she hadn't been around too many African-American men because the voice was hard and rough. And so Now they're learning how to communicate. They have more good times than bad times. And now you can see, okay, I see why you guys are matched. I see why you guys can really be a power couple if you allow yourselves to do so. Because look at how they took over the game when they had game last week. They ran the game like a power couple. They was on one accord. They had the same shirts on. Everything was flowing and clicking. I hope that she don't let this feeling thing, and I'm going to use feelings in this spark situation, stop them from saying yes or no, saying yes on decision day. Because if I'm her, if I'm Michael, I'll say yes just to get my 4 weeks back, right? Because we haven't get my 4 weeks back that we lost in the first half and see where it goes. Because if we're moving along and we lost 4 weeks, how about we just say yes and see where it can go?
Right. It's crazy because I want them to work like they work good together. Like if you think about everything that they actually done together, like even when he was teaching how to drive, the games, like they work good together. It just sucks that like they had such a rocky start that it put everything like to a halt. Like even when they was playing charades and they was guessing the games, like they can be it. I mean, they really could be it. It just sucks that like it's Jasmina though. It's really it's really just Jasmina. And you know something? Michael, I am so proud of Michael. I will say this because for the first time after hearing Michael and all his trauma, episode after episode, and I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of him having to keep exposing that part of himself when he's healing, right? But I also am happy that he is a different Michael from the beginning. Like he sees his glass half full instead of half empty now. He's out of his head. He's not thinking a negative part of it. You really see growth in him from his letter. Like, you know, everything's not going to be bad. Like although you have these struggles and things will get better. You're not going to always be in a sunken place. And I was so happy that we got to see Michael actually be able to come up out of that grief that they kept trying to put him in. If that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, they kept trying to put the grief on him. And even though he has dealt with a lot of issues and dealt with a lot of struggles in his life, and you can see where now he really wants to be married. He's coming out of the funk and realize, you know what? I do have a support system. I do have my sisters, and I do have people who want me to succeed. And I want to succeed because Michael's putting all into this marriage. If you think about it, Michael's putting everything in. He's trying to do everything he can to make sure that he gives Jasmina all of him besides touch her. That's the only thing he hasn't done. I mean, he's romanced her. He's been cordial. He's been nice. He's been cool. And like you said, he just needs to roll over one night and put his arm around her waist. He needs to just lay up and spoon her one night, stay real close to her, hug her up real tight, and just lay there. Because when they did the tantric yoga, she was feeling it. Yes. When they did the tantric yoga, she was really embracing. They could feel each other's heartbeats. He laid his head on her chest. So all that type stuff works, and they need to continue to do more of that. You know, I know if Jack was here, she would say, you know, they need to wake up every morning, kiss each other. They need to wake up every morning, give each other a hug, and need to hold hands. He might even need to go pick her up from work, and they have those quiet moments where he pick her up from work and come home. Because again, I said in our review, you have a week left in TV time, right? Week left before decision day. Don't hold anything back. There's nothing he should hold back. He should be shooting every shot he has as rapid fire, like he's at an amusement park just shooting the ball. Everything he has, he should be throwing out there, laying all the chips on the table to make sure. Because she already told you, I don't feel no romantic spark. I don't feel it. So he should be doing anything he can to make her feel a romantic spark, whether that's run some bath water, put some bubbles in the tub, light some he always lighting candles anyway, turn out the lights, light some candles, get some of the rose petals from production, whatever he needs to do to make sure Jasmina is taken care of, you know, a violinist, whatever he need to do to set the atmosphere, set the moment, and try to get that romance for the next 7 days. He needs to go ahead and just pull it all out. And let that romance. And if you don't know how, ask somebody. Call Dr. Viviana and be like, hey, Dr. Viviana, what do I need to do here? Because again, they gave her a basket. They got a basket, right?
They did, but I don't think we got to see them in a basket.
Right.
No, they wasn't ready for the basket then.
Yeah, they weren't ready for the basket then. But he needed to ask Dr. Viviana, look, can we make a revisit? Bring me that basket back and try whatever he needs to try to make sure that she can try to get a romantic spark. You know, it's like Survivor when they try to start the fire, they keep He needed to do whatever he can to start that fire with Jasmina, because again, it can work. But I think she's gonna say no because she doesn't feel, she's like Ryan from last season. He doesn't feel that spark of bubbly in her stomach, but she has to let go.
And I also feel like I hope that they dang, I lost my thought that fast when you said start to spark. Crap, I lost my thought.
Yeah, but now you find they do need to open up, and she's opening up now. Even Jasmine was crying a little bit. She cried in front of him, which I thought was good, and he cried because again she didn't have that brick wall up. You got it.
Yes, and I really feel like honestly, and I know like you like no, Chloe, no. But if they just do it one good time, I think she'll look at them arms standing over her and she'll fall in love and they'll be just so happy. I mean, it's okay to add a little lust in it. Okay. People act like lust is bad. Lust is not bad in a relationship. You need to lust after your partner, and that's what they're missing. So if she could get past like this mind, I think she's in her mind, because I think if he woos her and gets her to that point, she will let all those guards down, the walls down, and she'll just be open. And that's all it needs is a quick little, knock it out of her real quick.
A little romance, because she said she's physical, he's physical, but again, the two physical people, and I think one of the people in the chat said this a while back. He might be scared because she called him aggressive, but at this point, bruh, all you can do is say no.
Yeah, that's how I said. Make those advances. See how far you get. If she do not tap that hand, if she do not move you off of her, you know how it go. Come on now. I've seen women have, one night stands and stuff like that. Like, come on, we adults. So
right. This is your husband that you've been with for like 7 weeks now.
Like, it's okay to try something. It's okay to try something. If she says no, immediately stop. If she says nothing, if she goes with the flow, then you keep going. I think it's time for Michael to like just see where this can go. Unfortunately, I just don't know. Like, I don't feel like she's all the way open up to him to even allow it.
I mean, make me think about this. Like, you never saw him go take a shower. Y'all married. You never see him getting to, take his shirt off when he go to sleep. You never see her put her clothes on when she's getting ready for work. You've never seen her. You see all these things in these 7 weeks. Y'all never had an opportunity to see each other. I don't want to say necessarily naked, but in intimate settings. That would make you wonder. Like,
they should have seen some type of nakedness by now. Come on now, you living in the house with your spouse that you married to for longer than a month. Y'all still changing the bathroom? Like, come on, grow up.
Grow up. See, you should have seen each other naked by now. Her feet, her breasts, her legs, her butt, her little panties, or whatever case may be. Him in his boxer shorts. They should have seen each other. Y'all married. Do what married people do. You know what I'm saying? Do what married people, or at least try to, until she says no. So, hey, you married. So it's hopefully somehow she can get a spark. Something can happen. Something can flow that way. Man, but Michael, like I said, every shot he got, every trick shot, everything he needs to do, a reverse layup, anything he needs to do, he needs to get it so he can make a slam dunk. So.
Hey, Talisa.
Hey, y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. I had all kind of issues. Got locked out of my account, couldn't get to the link. It was a lot happening. Dogs running them up, terrorizing the neighborhood. So it was a lot. I ain't been here, and it was trying to stop me again today. Oh no, not today, devil. Not today, Satan. Yeah, it's not today.
Not today. But hey, look, you're here. Got changed up the hair color since the last time we saw you.
Yeah.
It looks nice. Same thing with Chloe, changing up the hair. Y'all, look.
It's a black girl thing.
It's the black girl magic that happens,
I know I live with one too. Her hair changed too, so it's all right. Talisa, we talk about Jasmina and Michael. What do they, we saw the past episode where her walls are kind of really almost coming down. She cried a little bit. He's embraced her. She didn't push him back from the hug. She let him hold her. Why can't this young lady feel anything with Michael?
Listen, I like the progress that they've made, and I'm still one of the people that's looking like they're gonna say no. I'm still, because they still not. I'm still that person. But I'm glad that they have grown, and I think the reason she can't loosen up more is because she really don't like him. Like, she's added the conversation. She started having conversations and talking, and you know what? We've been sitting here and we're friends now. So, you know, with your friend, you can be vulnerable and open, which is a good place to be, right? But she isn't feeling like that. You know, she don't like him. Even though the medium said she gonna be hurt and gonna think about it, the medium is pretty much saying you're gonna say no, lady, and you're gonna regret it in a year and a half that you said no. That's how I read that, but that's just me being a skeptic.
Well, I just said that. That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what she said. And I don't think that she knows really. Partly she's hyper independent. That's one of the things that I gathered about her, is that she's really hyper independent, meaning that you've had to do so much, so now that it comes into your life, into your regular everyday world, and it's over the top. When people aren't there for you, you end up doing more because I can't rely on anybody but myself. And I think that that's part of her issue too. She can't let him in because, you know, I'm an autonomous woman and I don't need you and I can do it myself. She kind of mentioned that a little bit, but yeah, I don't see her, like, it's only what, a week left? 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
You got a week left, about 7 days.
Oh God, it's still more days.
Yeah. Listen, I don't see anything happening that's gonna make her say yes. You know, because intimacy for me is one of the bigger things in a relationship. It's not the biggest things, but it is one of the bigger things, and it is important that we connect on all levels. Absolutely. Including that for me. So I'd be like, no, y'all barely holding hands. And like I heard when I came in, I said, they must be talking about Jasmina and Michael because y'all still getting dressed in the bathroom, closing the door. What y'all doing? Yeah. You ain't seen a little nip. What's happening? Like,
grow up.
Grow up. That's for me, I think that they probably need to have a conversation secretly so that neither one of them is too shocked on the first day. I mean, on decision day when they say no, when Jasmina says no. Because Michael will probably say yes in hopes that, you know, and I'm actually kind of proud of him communicating a lot better. And he seems to be, well, to me, he's always seemed to try to figure her out and try to embrace her. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I feel better for him. And I hope it don't take 5 years for him to find somebody. I hope it don't take that long for him to heal.
But 5 years is really not that long.
Well, sometimes it is.
Well, if he's dating and he's looking, I think 5 years isn't that long. If the question is he going to want her back when she come back with her twins? That's the question.
No.
I wouldn't want her back if I was Michael and she came with them twins. What you want me to do? Take care of somebody else's kids? I'm sorry. That's not fair.
My first thought would be you laid down with somebody else and we was married and you couldn't lay down with me. I'm sorry.
The psychic said she gonna regret it and she gonna have some twins. So I just wanted to know, like, she gonna come back to Michael like, I'm ready now with my twins.
No, she wanted them twins. She wanted them twins. Yeah, I see. Look at me. Never mind. I'm gonna let Glenn do his Glenning.
Hold on. Sharon said, do you think a couple has to have sex to say yes on decision day?
I was just looking at her question, and that's why I said I'm gonna let Glenn do his Glenning, because I was like,
all of us was just like, because I was gonna come back with the same question. I asked that. I don't think a couple has to have sex.
No.
To say yes on decision day. But if you have those feelings and those emotions and you want to go there, then you should go. I think you should go there. You're grown and then you're married. Because again, my thing is if you're really in tune with this person and they're in tune with you, laying beside somebody for 8 weeks, 8-9 hours a day, y'all laughing, you're joking, you're holding hands, you're watching movies, you're cuddling, y'all getting connected with each other. You should want to be able to have sex with your spouse and with your mate, and it should become over time. That's why I believe Elijah wanted Katina and Elijah. Just me. I think Elijah wanted Katina and Elijah about them not having sex, but that's a whole different discussion there. But I don't think you have to. You don't have to have sex to say yes on decision day. There's several couples. There's a lot of couples who didn't. A lot of couples who didn't have sex to say yes on decision day.
Yeah. I'm in agreement, but they have to have some type of intimacy outside of holding hands.
You have to have.
Yeah. I don't know what Dr. Pepper sees when she says that they look at them, that when I can see you guys are connected when you look at each other. I'm all like, let me rewind it and see, because I don't see it, Dr. Pepper. Weird.
I kind of see it too. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, don't lie. Don't
like I just said, like even when she was like, he touches my hand in the middle of the night, like she felt excited about that. She had a smile on her face. Like I feel like Michael just need to go ahead. Go ahead, Michael. See how far you could go, because I got a feeling she won't stop him.
I think she at least should be kissing him, but that's the only thing for me. Like, you haven't given any openings to make him feel comfortable to lean in, even for a little peck on the cheek, on the forehead, because that's normally the start of it. The cheek and the forehead, and they come to the nose, and then they kiss you in the peck on the mouth when they're unsure. That's normally the progression of it, and I don't see none of that. And so I'm gonna be on the other side, Chloe, talking about
Michael messed up. He messed up when he told her to stop kissing him. I really do, because by that time we know kissing. She kissing you every day. She kissing you every day. And Pastor Cal was right. She gets more comfortable because you're kissing her back. And now what happens? She stopped, and it's hard for her to get started again. And he should have kept going. Kiss her, hug her, squeeze her little cheeks, keep it moving. In the middle of the night, you grab her hand. Hand goes on the thigh. Rub her back. Do something.
Rub her back. Rub your back.
Start rubbing her back. Start rubbing her back, and go down to the And so again, those type of things. And if you really want to shock her, just come out. Oops, I forgot my towel, and come out the bathroom. It is what it is.
Look,
what she can see if she runs.
Ain't no oops.
Right. You see me look like. Maybe come out and say you forgot something with your towel on. That's a little. That's
you don't just come out with the towel on top of some oops.
Oops, my towel dropped. No,
they need to create that spark.
She like, oops, my towel fell.
That's the thing. And she likes his arms and stuff, so she probably like his chest. He can
That's
put
what
that
I'm saying.
just come out glistening from the shower with some, I forgot to get my stuff. Let me get my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let me see and then go back in. That'll work. I don't know. Maybe I'm just easy. I don't.
Me too. I already said that.
But they need to do something. He needs to do something. And again, we all might be being fooled by Jasmina. Maybe she really don't like him, and she's been lying the whole time anyway, just to save face. But Chloe said she sees him.
I think she likes him. I just don't think she likes him.
She don't like him.
Right. She likes him. He cool. We can sit and have popcorn and talk. We can go walk Feeny together. I think she likes him as a person, but she doesn't like him as an intimate partner. We're going to see her. I don't mind saying I was wrong. We're going to see. And I'm
not say no. I believe they're going to say no.
Finale. Not the finale, but the reunion. That's when we're going to know. What we're going to know is at the reunion. Get what they say. Next
when they reconnect.
Yeah.
Right.
They had that one night stand after the bar.
Right. After the episode where they all get together after they said no. I don't like that episode, because if you have to say no, you still making me hang out with the people. I'm already heartbroken.
I'm not showing up.
Hang up.
They're in the contract.
I know.
Yeah, that's okay. It's the end. I'll come, but I'm gonna stand outside and do that hemming and hawing, like, this is too much. I can't handle it. I can't go in. Give them some drama so that I don't have to go in, because I'm not going.
I showed up. That's all that matters.
Right. Especially if I said yes and you said no. I'm not going in there. I might want to slap you. So I'm not. I'm not going in.
Right. Especially if I treat you bad, you just saying no just because.
Well, they meet up after they say yes and no. When they all meet up at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be very.
That's when I might want to slap you. No, it's enough for me. I can't go in there. I'm too angry. But man, I'm angry in the inside.
They gonna still make you go.
I know, right?
Stand at the door. Just stand at the door. Just stand at the door and walk in circles and be like, it's too much. That'd be me. They keep referencing Karen and Miles. Karen and Miles as it relates to Jasmina and Michael. I mean,
yeah.
But we hated Karen. Like, we despised her attitude.
Still don't like her. And
my teenage daughter still doesn't like Karen. She still doesn't like Karen.
She was horrible towards him.
Karen grew on me though. She on that season, she grew on me towards Miles. I think she after her mama. I think her mama was just put in her ear the whole time, like, you better treat that boy right. You need to do right by him. You need to treat him right. You need to come around. And they said it, and we said it again. If the pandemic never happened, she would have said no.
I think they still together, but I still deep down something inside of me is saying that she feels stuck in this. I don't know why, but that's just my feelings. But that's a different season for a different conversation.
Oh yeah. Somebody put Iris and Keith. Keith and Iris is another one.
The one she said Iris wanted to lay hands on Keith on decision day. I mean, I can see that. Yeah, I can see what.
And that's the one decision I was shocked by. I honestly thought that man was going to say yes.
No,
he was like, no.
See, Jackie still don't like Keith to this day. She hate Keith because he said he led the girl on. But I'm sitting there like this. Iris should be counting her blessings. Keith was scared to have sex with a virgin because he knew that he didn't really want to be with Iris. He like, you know what? I have enough respect for you. I'm used to sleeping with a lot of people. Remember, Keith was the one who brought the box of condoms on their honeymoon. Like he was going to get him some until he found out she was a virgin. And he was like, nope, not going to do that. I'm going to sit here for 8 weeks and not touch you at all.
No, when Iris told that story about her deepest, darkest secret and swallowing a coin, I said, get her out of here. I'm done. I'm done. No. When she was like, I never told anyone, no one, except for my doctor. I swallowed a coin. I said, get her out of here. No.
Oh man, yes. But let's that I remember that. And the other thing was when she complained about the juice in the refrigerator, he was done too.
Yeah, she was childish.
She was extra over the top. It was a bit too much.
Now that's the Married at First Sight question. Everybody, I wanted to know: is Iris still a virgin?
I doubt it. I hope she.
You think somebody didn't crack that nut?
I don't know, but if they had, they probably would tell. But I don't know. That's the question. That's the $1 million question. If somebody y'all know in the chat, let us.
Married, yes. If she's not married, then it's a no. If she's not married.
Yeah, y'all know in the chat, let us know. But let's move on to the other couple. We talk about nuts and people are crazy. Let's go to Lindsey and Mark because she is certifiably crazy. So, Lisa, we're gonna start with you. Your thoughts on Lindsey and Mark from this past episode and her little Alice in Wonderland trip through the woods.
Listen, I knew she was crazy before this because she would go from one extreme to another in one episode. So starting with Dr. Pepper, I said, no, I can't do it. I'm going to say no. He thinks I'm too much. To after the JC then died of dying the cat to, he's more vulnerable and open and we're going to be together. Anybody, I don't care if it's a week, 2 weeks that can flip flop like that. There's something internally going on that requires some assistance that we cannot help her with. I always enjoy listening to their dear younger self letters. I normally really enjoy that. But Lindsey's letter felt like what she says every episode to me. And so I just was like, well, what was the point of yours, Lindsey? Because you didn't do anything differently than normal. And so I don't know. And then the Alice in Wonderland probably just was the glue. That was the glue, the certifiable glue. And Mark, you see the silence and the utter, the sheer, I'm confused about the both of them. You keep saying you don't want to be with him, and you keep saying you don't want to be with her. And then, I really appreciate her support. So I feel like the cat is the thing that is going to make him say yes. Her support of the cat. Forget the hazmat suits. Forget the helping with the mama or whatever but the cat is the thing that's going to make him say yes. For him, that was a big act of service, a real supportive. And it's almost like if you look at her face when she is consoling him in the veterinarian's office, it's like she's got this smirk, this hidden her eye, this evil kind of menacing kind of grin, I got you now. It's really weird for me. Just her, and then him saying that whole you're too much, and her dragging that whole you're too much out. Listen, you too much. This is not the first time you heard it. That's how come you're so upset about it, because everybody says you're a lot. You're so much, but live in that. Take the people's suggestions and living that. He said, even though he is saying stop, and can't stop, whatever he be doing, he really means stop. That's that whole no means no. Like I might be saying, oh no, that whole thing, that whole me too and no. I might be saying no in a coy way, but I'm still saying no. So take what I'm saying at face value. Respect my boundaries. I respect. You want me to respect yours. Respect mine, and mine is. When you're upset with me, I don't like to be touched by you. I don't want you to touch me. It's pretty much what he's saying. I can't go from one extreme to the other like you do in one day, right? I don't know. I'm not a therapist, but I really feel like she needs some help. Like she really needs to figure out what that thing is that I can't diagnose her, but I want to. I want to diagnose her. But I'm going to get off that soapbox and then let me just tell you that I agree with whatever you say because I know.
Chloe, your thoughts on Lindsey and Mark?
So first, as a cat lover. Okay, everyone knows Chloe loves cats. Okay, I was so agitated by Lindsey. Like that man, the cat was 14 years old. I think he said he's consoling himself with this cat. This is his last moment with his cat. And at first I was like, okay, he's going through this alone. He needs this time. I'm glad she gave him his space. And then she pops her little self up on the camera and I said, why? And not only does she go, it's like she's forcing herself on him. She's moving the cat, picking the cat up, moving it this way. She's like hovering over him, forcing herself like in the mix. Like, you're not part of this family. Move. Like, you just got here. This is his cat of 14 years. He had this cat before you, way before you. And you want to just insert yourself, let him have his moment. It bothered me. And then for her to still be afterwards upset that the cat passed away and he still is not focused on her, bothered the crap out of me. Because it's like, you're so insensitive. It's always Lindsey. Lindsey likes to make everything about her. She claims that she's consoling him and she's here for him, but instead of just being here for him, being his peace, the one thing he said in his letter is that, something about his peace. You're supposed to be his peace. Us as a spouse, women, men, vice versa. Whenever we're going through whatever we're going through, we're supposed to go to you for our peace. So when you become the problem and the chaos, no one wants to turn to you. If I'm going through a sensitive time that I lost my cat from 14 years, I'm not talking about a cat for 6 months, a little cat. I'm talking about a cat, 14 years that you raised. And you sitting here talking about something, he's still not focusing on me. How insensitive are you? I can't. And that's the thing. And I said this, Mark will focus on Lindsey when she becomes what he needs. Her approach is totally different. She's so quick to say his life is in shambles. But if his life is in shambles, are you being there to support him so that he can lean on you, so that he can trust in you, so that y'all can have those intimate conversations? As much stuff as he's went through, he should be able to open up so much to her about so many things because she's supposed to be there to embrace him. But instead of embracing him, she's nagging him and pulling and tugging at him. They could have had so many intimate moments, and I mean emotionally intimate, financially intimate, just intimate conversations based on everything that he has been through. And she always somehow turns it to her. And that's where the problem comes from. Instead of saying, oh my God, you lost your apartment. Let's talk about this. How do you feel? What do you need from me? How do I support you in this? I am here for you. It's like, oh no, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Blah, 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 blah. It's like you're trying to take over. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. You're trying to take over his experience and making it yours instead of being there for him. And that's the problem that I have with Lindsey, because it's not nurturing. The whole annoying situation, don't no human being want to be poked at. Like, if you're laying in the bed with your husband or your wife, they don't want to be bothered like this. Licking on your ear, doing unnecessary stuff. That's not cute. Now, if you want to lick on the ear, you want to nibble on the ear and stuff like that, do it romantically, seductive, cute, make it something. But you just being aggravating, that ain't nothing I need. I don't need that. You're aggravating me. It's not helping me relax. It's not getting me sensual. It's not making me feel some type of way. Now I feel like it's like putting a finger in someone's face and like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. That's annoying as heck. But if you want to come kiss on my little neck, you know, and rub my back at the same time, I might like that. But if you just being annoying, nobody wants that. She gets upset. He says she's hyper. She is hyper. But does he respond the same way when she tells a whole group of people that he can't eat the Kit Kat?
I was so irritated and annoyed by that. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Yeah. But you mad though that he called you hyper to you with just y'all two in private. Cause you doing too much and all he trying to do is sleep for a little bit. But you can go in front of a whole group of people and tell him he can't eat a Kit Kat, and that's supposed to be okay. Lindsey, sit down because you're getting on my nerve. I'm tired of these people, and especially Lindsey. She's like second to Elijah on.
She was ecstatic. Y'all took my point. When she saw that cat sick, it was like the answer to her prayers, because she has been competing with the cats, the whole relationship, right? Their whole marriage, she's been competing with the cat. And if I'm not mistaken, she was kind of the one says, you know what? You might want to go ahead and put the cat down. Because they said they saw something. It didn't say the cat was going to die next week. It didn't say the cat was going to... Mark could have kept the cat. Cat could still be living for a long time before anything developed. But I think she made a suggestion that we might want to put the cat down. It was her opportunity to get rid of the cat. And Mark's like, but again, Mark doesn't have the money to afford whatever procedure it may have taken for the cat. We know that when you're dealing with cat stuff or animal stuff, that stuff is expensive when you're dealing with animals. So he may not have been able to afford that. But Lindsey, she wants love, but she don't know how to love. She wants respect, but she don't know how to give respect. And so she's Mark might be selfish in the bed, according to her, but she's selfish in life, right? Mm-hmm. Because she wants everything to be about her. She turns everything into what she's doing and nothing in what's happened to him. His life is falling apart, but I'm helping him do this. I'm helping him take care of this. I'm helping him do this. Well, you're his spouse. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to. No. You never once said, I wanted to see where she said, Mark, thank you for taking care of me when I was sick, or thank you for being in the hospital with me. Thank you for even though I cussed you out, fussed you out, ran you down, told you that you couldn't please me in bed and all this other stuff, you still got up in the morning and took me to the hospital to make sure I was okay. And not once did you ever hear him throw that back at her, right? He never said anything. And she's still talking about the hazmat suit that happened 6 weeks ago, right? All the other stuff that's falling apart. As a spouse or as a husband, there's some things that are just given. Because when you took those vows, you said for richer or poor, for sickness and health, the death do us part. So guess what? I don't have to keep bringing it up when you do something, because that's my responsibility. That's my job. That's what I signed up for. That's all that is included. And I don't have to keep telling people I did this for you or you did this for me to make you feel good. So you don't have to keep putting me down so you can feel great. And I think that's what Lindsey has always been used to, has been putting people down so she can feel great. Mm-hmm. She's that person that's sarcastic, very sarcastic, and her sarcasm could be great. But when you are sarcastic with her, she catch feelings. Or when she says something, you say something bad about her, she's in her way. And we all know that you're the one that likes starting fights. We all know that. We all know that, truth be told, I really think she likes Elijah one. That's why she was picking with him in the first place. That's why they be smoking on top of the roof with each other, because can't nobody tell me she don't smoke. So whatever they do it on top of the roof probably includes smoking. Now you can figure out what they smoke. I don't know, but they be smoking on top of that roof. That's why they all go up on the roof, because they probably can't smoke in apartments. But they became close.
Right, though, just to say, she said, when I was talking to Elijah and my friend said it hurt that he saw the pain. It took Elijah to tell you that there was some hurt in your husband's. No, man, right. You might have a little thing for Elijah. You didn't see in some great sweatpants or some basketball shorts or something. That's what happened.
They got a different connection. They have a different connection. Elijah is nosy. He's in everybody's business. He knows everything about everybody's relationship. People share stuff with Elijah. He knows everything about relationship. But on the defense of Lindsey, Mark does need to grow up.
See, that's the thing. Mark does need to grow up, but I also feel like I wouldn't say grow up. I would say he needs to open up more to her, because I think he's clearly grown, right? I think he knows what he needs to do and how to do it, blah, 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 blah. But I know I had said something because I did a little rant, and I'm like, they were like, but Mark has said what he wanted. He said at the table, he said, I can be what you want if you let me be it. Like, he put his foot down. And I just want to yell at Mark too, because I honestly feel like Mark is doing something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's definitely not the same Mark that we see. Because Lindsey always says that, and Lindsey's crazy, but Lindsey don't be lying. Like whether you don't want to hear it or not, she crazy. She may take it wrong, but she knows what she's saying. And I really feel like Mark got something more to him that we're not seeing. So I just want to yell at him, but I don't know what it's for.
You know what, Chloe, to say off of Lindsey is crazy, but she keeps saying it. Crazy people, when you listen to like crazy people on the street, there are some things that they are saying that you know are true. You just know I'm ignoring them because they're how they're acting. But there's some truth in what she's saying. He is doing something to trigger her, but she needs to understand what her triggers are so that he knows what her triggers are. But he also needs to know how to vocalize better what it is that he needs. And I think Glenn is saying he needs to grow up probably in that manner. So because if they say no, I'm sure he's gonna figure out where he's going. One of the homies is gonna let him sleep on the couch for a little while but it ain't gonna be forever. One of the homies, right. The home girl, what's up? The girl that came at one time, he was sitting, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna call her Roberta. She seemed like she would be willing to let him sleep on the couch, in the garage, the basement, somewhere.
But you know his family say he be couch hopping.
Right, he going to Chris's house. He can hang out with Chris.
Right. Chris got enough room over there. He living good. So
Chris living good. Let Mark get on his feet. You know what I'm saying? But he does. He needs to communicate better and realize, you know what? And I think there's a point in your life where you do have to look at, if everything's falling apart in my life, why are they falling apart? Why do I have any safety nets in my life to make sure I'm good?
Falling apart because of Lindsey. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. As soon as he met Lindsey, it all started spiraling down.
Look, hey, I give you that a little bit because look, Lindsey's not responsible for the bed bugs, but Lindsey is responsible for marrying him. That's why his landlord put him out. Because can't nobody tell me different. I think Mark and the landlord that had something going on. I'm sorry.
It's a little entanglement.
Right? The moment she found out, oh, you over there, you didn't got married, you on vacation with your new wife, you got to get out.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
All this cheap
lost his job.
And it ain't cheap or free because he was paying for it in one way or another.
Right.
You can't do no more. You got to figure it out. But she'll let him back in if he say no and get in a no. Because they've had sex. So get a divorce. As long as he say no and prove that the divorce decree has been completed, she'll let him back in.
A little piece change.
A little bit of change. And then with the job situation, bruh, I know y'all doing production 12 or 6 hours a day, but you still need to handle your work business. Your production fell off. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to make ends meet. And so because the way he looked at it, I got to find me another job. They didn't lay you off. They fired your butt.
I was about to say that. Do we believe that he could come back after filming or no?
No, I don't. I think they fired him. The way he was talking was they told him to go home and don't come back. The way he said it was, they told me not to look. They fired Mark because he's like, I'm gonna be looking for a new job. Yeah. If you laid off, you don't look for a new job. If that's the job that you want and that you like and that's what you're used to and what you're accustomed to, they just probably so you know what. And how much filming happens when you can make it happen. So that means if you got to work a long day and you come home and film, that's when they're gonna film because they're working around your work schedule. No one's ever been filmed at work that I recall. I think maybe the first season they showed the guy at the firehouse, something like that. But so he has to adjust there. And then when it comes to finding an apartment and moving, Mark creates a lot of stuff. He needs to be able to say, "What, Lindsey, this is what I can provide for you. This is what I can do for you. And if you can't meet this standard, then I guess what we need to say no on decision day. Because I want peace. You're not giving me any peace. And every time we have a conversation, it turns into an argument. I can do bad all by myself. At least with the cats, they don't argue. You know what I'm saying? And they don't do none of that. So guess what you need to do? Stop arguing with me. Stop fussing with me. You want me to treat you some type of way? Then I need this from you because it's going to have this relationship has to be reciprocal. Whatever you give me, I'm going to give back to you. So if you want love, give me love. And talking about, and then she said that lying with Dr. Pepper. He don't never try nothing. Like what? Mark then tried everything you would have asked him to do, even when he don't like it, to do their tacos for the first time, which that blows my mind that you 40-some years old never eaten a taco.
Talking about what's this? Salsa.
Yeah.
It's saying on the bottle. She ain't making from scratch. Salsa.
Yeah, so it's a lot. So he has to kind of mature in that sense. And the last thing with him, and I understand why Lindsey said no, but I don't like the way she said it. When he was like, "Oh, if I some way I can buy this house and move back in it," Lindsey like, no, nah, your childhood memories are gone, bro. We're not gonna move back in this house. This ain't the same street. This ain't none of that. We're not moving back in here, even if you could afford to get the house. We're not doing it. Which I'm not mad at her for saying it, but the way she said it was so insensitive. She was like, I don't care.
Lindsey gives no F's.
Right.
I don't know why she with him though, because she like Lindsey says Mark don't make no money. Mark got bad sex. Mark is this. Mark is that. And yet it's still, she always said and cried about this man. I just be like, Lindsey, just go to sleep. Stop drinking and go to sleep. Take a nap. Cause she just be working on my nerves, yo.
But again, men before Mark wooed her. They
didn't woo her. They got her drunk, sex her down, and sent her on her way. Period.
Yeah, she gave it up to him. That's why she's so hypersexual.
Right. She can
and
go.
There's nothing wrong with being there's nothing wrong with being hypersexual. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're gonna have to let the person tell him how to please you and what you need to make sure you're taken care of. And the first time that he hears that he's a selfish lover, shouldn't be around the whole group of people. You should have been had that conversation with Mark.
Right. Okay, DJ Envy's wife.
Right.
Listen. That's a whole listen. I also in that whole like sexual intimacy realm, I think that Mark gives me the I am a selfish lover, the I am the jackrabbit. This is what nobody has ever told him. This is slow down. This is what you do. And she's not the person to do it because she is too negative because we teach people what we like. You know what I'm saying? I get to tell you, I like this, I like that, I don't like this, I don't like that. Exactly. But it's not during the moment of intimacy. It is not, you know what I mean? It might be after. Okay, well, I really like when you do this versus you don't do this right. I like when you do this, and maybe we can try this instead. Or the conversation before, but this is grown people talking that got some good sense, okay? And people that I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know.
I don't know either. Because she ain't got no problem telling everybody else. Everybody except for
everybody else. I don't even know if she's telling, like she might be, I think she might have said one time before in front of Dr. Viviana that he wasn't good in bed.
She told Dr. Viviana, her friend, the hobo Denali.
But I don't think she's saying what he's not good at and how he can improve. Like you just complaining. Right. You just,
I said this last week on a panel. Mark or no man can compete with a vibrator battery.
I was just saying, just go get in the drawer. Go and get you some more batteries.
Mark said that though. Remember on after party when he was mad at it, he says that she be using the she finished herself or she was doing it herself.
She got to get a break.
He looked at it when she was doing herself like, I can't compete with that. I'm not even.
Maybe he can't compete with that, but maybe he could be the one to administer whatever pleasure she likes.
You see, the thing is that it's a toy. That a body, the heat, the intimacy, can never replace that ever. So.
Yeah,
they need to work on their romance and their emotional connection because that's what enhances everything. So because she's so hyper fixed on a feeling and he's emotionally checked out, they don't know they're not clicking. You know how like even if it was a one night stand, right? You're both highly intensified. Everything is intensified because you're wanting this. So they're not on the same page compatibly. So they're never going to meet each other where they stand when it comes to sexual energy because she's one way and he's another way. And it's like, you got to be on the same rhythm. If you're not on the same rhythm, it start clashing. It's a clash and it's not satisfying to neither one of us. But one thing is for certain, when it comes to men, they always going to get theirs. So that's why she needs to tell him what it is that she needs, and they have to have an open conversation about it. That the little toys that Dr. Viviana gave them was some BS. That wasn't supposed to help build no intimacy. That's just giving us some toys for fun. Like,
so that Mark is open to use. You have to also remember he's not open to use the toys that
right.
Because if that was the case, he wouldn't be offended by the toy that finishes her off, because he would be the one using the toy to finish her off. Like that's my whole thing. Like even we have to meet and be compatible in some area. And right now they are not compatible in any area. Sex is the one thing that sometimes be like, okay, so we're not getting along, let's go have sex and, get some endorphins going and some euphoric feelings, and then maybe we can have a conversation. There should be somewhere that we can have a common ground so that the rest of us can get on the same, the rest of our energy can be on the same place. Right. When that doesn't happen.
Only time they have a common ground is when she's sleeping, he's awake. He's awake.
And that don't even last long because she wake him up when she wakes up.
She wakes him up. Wait, because that's the only time that man gets peace, right? Or when she's at work and he's at home playing football with Steve, whatever the case may be. He has nothing right now. If you're looking at him, my thing to him is, why is he still saying he doesn't know? Every time anyone asks me, I don't know if I want to be with her or not. I'm like, dude, you talking about red flags? If you can't go a couple hours, he said, man, we could be fine in the morning, and at night we argue and all. If you can't go a couple hours with this person and y'all just at each other, it may not be for you. This relationship may not work. If you try things and they never, even from her standpoint, if you try things and they're never consistent with it, because she says he's very inconsistent, then guess what? He's not going to be consistent when the cameras go away. He's not going to be consistent when the show is over. So the consistency has to come from both ends. You have to take, and both of them have to be active participants. I think, Chloe, you said a few minutes ago, they have to be on one accord. They have to be together. Okay, what are we going to do together? When you talk, I'll shut up and write down my points, right? When I talk, I want you to listen to me. And they got to realize we're not competing. We're on the same team. We're not competing, fighting each other. We're on the same team, and we want the common goal. Let's get together and try to see how we can make this a happy marriage and not just a relationship, or just not a companionship, or just not something they put together on for TV. But I still fear they both will say yes, and then by the time we get to reunion day, they're broken up.
Oh yeah.
Right. And when you were talking, all I could think about is how Lindsey is not a good listener. Like she's not a good listener at all. I can tell you all the things that you're doing to me, but you are not hearing anything. No suggestions from Dr. Pepper. It was almost like she just blew her away. Yeah, you the doctor. This is what you do every day, but I don't care. You don't know what you're talking about, lady. Like that's how I feel when I see her. She just don't. It's like you said. It's about her. It's the focus is me. Forget what Mark wants. Just bow down, bitches. Bow down. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all she wants. That's it. Just do what I say and follow me around like I'm the queen cat. She's gonna do all his cats. All his cats, they're gonna be dead. They ain't gonna be no more cats. You might as well start crying for the reunion.
She figured, and I'm glad Jack ain't, because she probably hit me. She figured he'll stop touching those cats and maybe he'll touch her cat. And so he'll leave those cats alone if all of them are gone.
Because I guess cats purr when he touch them. I guess those cats are purring, and that's
she already compared herself to the cats. You touch the cats more than me.
Chloe said it. She's a person when she wants sex. She doesn't want the intimacy. She wants sex. And he wants intimacy. He wants emotion. He wants feeling. He wants to be connected. She just wants sex, which lets you know that Lindsey has been in a lot of one-night stands where nothing has been connected. She's had sex just to have sex. There's been no relationship. There's no emotion that's been tied to it. To her, it's just sex. When you're in marriage and you're really compatible, it's much more than sex. It's intimacy. It's relationship involved. It's connection involved. It is not just sex. And that's what Lindsey's been at, where she's been in places where she's done it just to do it. And Mark wants relationship and emotion. That's why very rarely do you hear a man say, I have to be emotionally connected to you. I just don't feel it anymore, unless he's really done with you. And Mark is really done with Lindsey. And that's why he can't feel it emotionally to have sex with her. Well, let's move on to this other couple, Steve and Noy. I'm going to save Elijah and Katina for last. Steve and Noy. Boy, what do I want? Noy is just all over the place to me. She talking about immature and that need to grow up. Noy is very immature and need to grow up. Chloe, we'll start with you.
I don't like Noy. I really tried, y'all. Like, honestly, I can't listen to her talk. I don't like to see her on screen. I don't like her. Like, for the life of me, I don't understand this girl. She sat there and she cried about how she felt like she was a burden to her parents for, them having to work to provide for her. But then turns around and say, I want 3 kids just like my parents because that's the fantasy life. How, Noy? How? You felt so like a burden, but you want to display that same thing for your family. Like, why? Like, she doesn't make sense to herself, like, yet alone to anyone else. I honestly don't have that many words for her because I can't hear anything she's saying when she comes on the TV. Like, I literally start toning her out because she tries to make this voice, make it like this childlike voice, like when she's saying absolutely nothing that holds any substance or makes any sense. And I am so tired of her. Like, you can't even not post on social media and subliminal posts about your husband. Like, it's the bare minimum for me. You sit there and you say you want him to do this, you want him to do that. When he gives you the suggestion of, okay, well, let's try what this looks like and see if you like it. Okay, you're gonna go to work. Okay, go to work. He says, okay, you clean up. It's time to clean up. I don't want to clean up. I don't want to do anything. Kiss my ass. Like, I think Dr. Pepper pissed me off the most, though. Okay, because why did Dr. Pepper tell her that it's okay? You want to live in 2 places? Absolutely the F not. Ain't that the same reason why y'all sent Alyssa home? Because she didn't want to move in? Right. So you mean to tell me that it's okay? You telling these 2 people who want to have, this one person, not these 2 people, this one person who want to have 3 kids, that it's okay for her to go live in a separate house from her husband. Don't encourage this foolishness, Dr. Pepper. She's only doing this because she doesn't know what he has in his bank account. She doesn't know where the money comes from. If she found out Steve was a millionaire today, she would be all up talking about moving in together, buying a house, getting cars, doing all types of stuff together. It's BS. Noy really bothers me. And it bothers me because, like, why did you come here? What did you expect to get out of this process? It's one thing to have Lindsey up here crying because everything is about her. She wants Marks to love her. That's one thing. But to have Noy up here to just be so immature, unrealistic, stupid, just stupid, for lack of better words. Like, I don't understand her. Like, I don't like her. Like, I don't know how else to put it because she makes no sense to me. And as much as I try to like see it for her, I don't see it for her, like, at all. Like, ever since she burnt the noodles and started posting stuff on the Instagram and then turn around and say she want one thing and act another way. She wants this. I should have been when she said she was in love with him in 3 days. You fell in love with this man in 3 days, but now you don't want to live with him. Girl, get her off my screen. I can't stand Lindsey. I mean, Noy. I don't like her. And I don't really have nothing to say about her. I just don't like her. That's it.
To Lisa.
Well, okay, I'm let me play devil's advocate.
You can have it.
Play devil's advocate. What I know, though, is every season there is a couple who has an issue with housing. Housing, how it's going to look, how we going to move in. There's always an issue. With Noy, she is not my favorite person, but she is not the worst for me. I do want to give her a little credit for being honest about not knowing how to communicate her emotions, her anger, her sadness. And that is something that she grew up. I see your face, Chloe. I see you.
I'm just saying because I tone her out a lot, so I miss a lot because the stuff that I do here don't make sense to me.
It's a Elijah one for me. It's a Elijah one for me. I just do like, what he say? Oh, okay. Is he crying? Like, what? Oh, okay. That'd be me. But I want to give her that much credit to be able to recognize that in her house she was not able to express herself and has now come into her waking adult life, which we can actually see. Now, when we start talking about living together, I'm all right with you not living with me. But then that's me, and I already have children. I'm already established. This is a new couple coming out who wants to have 3 children. And with 3 children there, for me, you cannot live separately. You have to live in one household. And Dr. Pepper should have prefaced it, even though she said my first marriage was 23 years, and that's where I raised my children. And the second marriage is 16 years, and we live separately. She needed to be specific and say, we have established ourselves, our children are raised, and we went our separate ways. That relationship didn't even work out. Okay. That one didn't even work out. So I don't even know, but this one works because we don't have children together, because we already are established. We aren't commingling our lives. We get to show each other that I love you. We knew each other, right? There's a whole other aspect that Dr. Pepper didn't show them. In order to make this new strange marriage work, you have to be in the same space. You have to get to know each other. Or if you're gonna be in separate spaces, then you can't be married. You're not gonna be doing the things that married people do. It's unrealistic to think you're gonna see him every day, Noy. It's unrealistic. If I live in a different house and you're working and I now have a job because you've pressured me into having a job, I'm not gonna have
she even care. Why does she even care if he has a job? She don't want to live with him.
Right. See, that was my point. I ain't want to cut you off, Talib. That was my point. You don't want to live with me.
Listen, because I ain't got nothing else to say.
If you don't want to live with me, why are you worried about me having a job? Right? Because in about 7 days, it's not going to affect you anyway. Right? It's not going to mess with you anyway, because I'm going back to my place. You going back to your place. We just got this ring on our finger. And I guarantee you, if we start having kids, you will want me to move in with you.
Immediately.
Immediately, yes.
As soon as the little baby start waking up at 2:00 in the morning and I'm not there, and you need to feed them, change them, whatever case may be, you can call Steve.
No, Noy's lying. She doesn't want to live separate. It has nothing to do with anything.
Nah.
Dr. Pepper saying yes, people do that. It has nothing to do with anything. Noy's lying. Period. Point blank.
Yes.
She wants to live with her husband. She just doesn't trust that he's financially stable enough to do it. So instead of joining bank accounts, she just figured, I will live here, you live here.
And then so now you're depleting more resources. To me, it makes no sense, especially since you're starting out. 2 separate homes means 2 separate overheads versus combining, because it's only the 2 of you and sushi, to a place that you comfortably can be in and comfortably can go in your separate corners if you need to, versus 2 homes. You're defeating the purpose. If you live in California, you might as well buy you a house, because you're 1 bedroom. Down the street, I live in the urban area, and down the street, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, okay? And in a little bit of a dilapidated area. My little area over here is a cul-de-sac, so it look real nice. But right down the street over there, you got the homeless encampment right down the street from you, and for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, it's $2,300. That's more than my mortgage. Okay. I'm not, and I got low end mortgage. Okay. I ain't one of these people, because mortgage right now, you come out here, you buy your house, it's about $4,000, $4,500 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house is about $4,500. All houses are $1 million, feel like right now. So, you're depleting resources for me, and Boston isn't like it's inexpensive. You're depleting resources. You aren't making wise decisions, but we've seen that Noy does not know how to make wise decisions. She's not using knowledge base or facts when she is making the decisions that she's making. And so with that being said, I like Steve, even though he does not have current employment. I like his emotional maturity. I like the way that he supports her. I like the way that he tries to figure out, how do we move forward? What can I do? I like all those things about Steve. I don't like that he just continues to allow himself to be used by her, like her lap dog. Like, okay, you do this now. Right. Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm serious.
No, you're good. That's what she's doing. I think to her, everything Noy says is manipulation. She says she comes out and she's trying to manipulate Steve to go this way, or manipulate the situation that way. Of course, you don't have any feelings and emotions. You have feelings and emotions. You don't know how to share them to a person one-to-one, but it's okay for you to share them on social media, right? Because you don't get that interaction back to back. It's okay for you. It's okay for you to be a stay-at-home parent, but for you to be a stay-at-home parent, that means the other person has to make some income, because you both can't be stay-at-home parents, right? Somebody has to put an income. Somebody has to work. And it's not necessarily 9 to 5 neither, because Steve, if he is quote unquote millionaire and freelancing and all this, when you start having kids, you may want him to have that time to be at home with you and spend with you. You don't want him to be at a 9 to 5 as a sales, because he was a sales engineer, right? That means he has to travel across the country and travel different places and to make sales and to make this money. So you should be happy that he's trying to be an entrepreneur, and look with your foresight that he's trying to set some things up that when you can have these 3 babies, and so everything will be straight. Dr. Pepper, with her comment about them, she didn't go in. If she did go into detail, they didn't show it. She needed to go into detail about why her and her current husband live apart. Well, because I work on the West Coast all the time. This show keeps me busy. My clients are here, and we see each other X amount of time. He can't travel with me. He holding it down over here. She needed to explain why they don't live together currently. And maybe she did. They just didn't show it. But Noy is going to hear what Noy wants to hear. See, it works. No, it doesn't work, because if you're by yourself, Steve by himself, what does Steve say? You know what? I'm living by myself. I got all the boys at the house tonight. I can't come over. How many times can he do that before you say, oh, he don't want to spend time with me? Well, I could spend every day with you if we live together. Right? When the boys go home, you already be here. I don't want to come across town right now. I'm tired. Or I work my 9 to 5. I have a long day because I work the 9 to 5 job, and I don't feel like driving across town to come see you. But if you live with me, we'll be all right. But you know what? Can we go get dinner tonight? No, we can't go get dinner because I got work to do. You know, so when you take yourself and put yourself away from your husband to stay in your 1 studio apartment, right? You're affecting the whole relationship thing, which also this is
23. How old is it? Like 12?
30. You're right, 12, 30. You're going backwards because you don't live with me for 8. You don't live with me for 8 weeks. You don't live with me for 8 weeks. Right? I showed you I can cook, clean, take care of house, and all that, and you still want to move back. So not only this is why, Chloe, I kind of agree with you, because she is a little naive. You done live with me for 8 weeks. We done did the do. We sleep in the same bed every night. All that, and you willing to go separate after we both say yes? What's really the problem?
The money.
He showed you he's taken care of.
She don't trust it.
That's the only thing it is. It's the money. Because I like Steve. Steve is a good guy. Mm-hmm. Steve is a good guy. If Steve was black and a little older,
Steve would make a good look. If Noy wasn't so hell bent on the 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, and she was like successful and whatever, Steve would even make a good house husband. Okay, like. If she's fine making money and he take care of the kids, the house, and cook and all this other stuff, I mean, it don't have to be the traditional way, right? You're not traditional, right? No way, right? Okay.
Right.
So you want to work so bad, right? You the one who got the work complex. So you got it perfect. Y'all got a perfect household for what your household could look like if this man is going to be nurturing, father, cooking, cleaning, all that. And all you got to do is go to work and bring home the bacon. Girl, you need to be quiet.
She don't have any of the qualities that Steve has. Okay, I'm gonna just when you nailed all his qualities. She does not have one. Cooking, she got mad about the noodles. Cleaning, I don't want what. I'm not gonna clean. I'm only gonna clean my closet. Like I don't want to clean the bathroom. She does not have the same set of
skills,
integrity, or skills, or value system that he has. And you know.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because like I can like, me and my husband are like that, but he works, right? But he's like the total opposite of me. He's like a Steve. Completely like a Steve. So that's why I don't understand, like, why wouldn't you want a man? There's so many women like Katina and Elijah who want a woman to do all these things. And you have a man who does all these things. It doesn't require it from you. He's not even requiring it from you.
Not yet.
And he's still willing to pay some bills. Why are you having a heart attack? Like,
I put in the bathroom, sign me up.
You hit the jackpot. You got a man who cook, clean, want kids, take care of kids, everything, work. Well, not necessarily working 9 to 5, but bring home money to still support the family and this, that, and other. And you still want to sit here and cry, complain. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How old is she? And like,
33. She's child because again,
right. I'm all like 33. That don't seem right. It don't add up. Chloe, because it don't. I thought she was like in her 20s. I don't remember none of their ages. I thought she was like 23, 4, 25. I thought she was about 25, 26. I was like, she got a little growth that needs to happen. But being in her 30s and then saying that this place that she lives, this apartment, this studio that she lives in, and she's attached to it because it's her first place by herself.
They don't match emotionally?
Because think about it, it's silly because your studio, she talked about moving to Boston and the person that was living with her or who came and got her to Boston, they broke up. To me, you would want to get rid of anything associated with that person, which meaning that studio apartment. Even though it's the first one you got, the reason you have it because they convinced you to move to Boston. Now you have an opportunity to move into a house, let's say, because Steve always said he got a place to live, right? So if he was gone for 4 months, he took care of his home. He took care of whatever. So he has a place to go back to. So let's go here. Again, you're not, like Talisa said, you're not paying any bills because Steve has already got his house taken care of, right? Sushi has a own little room, whatever case may be. Bring Sushi along. If you like that apartment somewhat, rent it out to one of your friends. So whatever case may be. But move with your husband to let the relationship grow. And I don't think she's really ready to let the relationship grow with Steve. Because again, he's shown her his potential. She just don't see how it fits into her lifestyle. And and she wants to maintain that lifestyle that she has because she's comfortable. Even her letter didn't make sense to me when she said my parents worked hard and my mom worked hard and she came home with chicken blood on her face and it made me cry. Okay, if your parents worked hard just to make ends meet, but your husband can make ends meet and not work that hard, what's the problem?
I told you she don't make sense. The same reason why she felt like she was a burden to her parents, but still want to have the same dynamic as her parents. She don't make sense. The girl don't process stuff properly.
And it doesn't make sense. If your parents stayed married all these years and they're together, why you want to live away from your spouse? If that's what you saw every day.
She crazy.
And especially if they had a good relationship, like you say, that they worked collectively. Why would you want to? If what you think, because normally what you see is kind of how you unless you try and break that norm, that's kind of that's your bar. Like,
is she lying?
Yeah.
What say? I don't fool with her. I don't like her.
As my grandma would say, she's talking out of both sides of her neck.
Yeah. Both sides. She's talking out of both sides.
Let's go to this couple because I know I'm not even gonna start with you, Talisa, because I'm gonna start with you because you don't like talking about them. So, I
don't like talking about them at all. Not even a little bit. And I hate that I missed the last two Sundays because I'm not recording this on my channel by myself no more. That's it. I'm done. Only time I'm gonna talk about it is only time I'm gonna talk about it is here with you. So if anybody want to catch me talking about it and want my opinion, you better come on over to Jack and Glenn because I don't have the time to record this nonsense that's happening, and ain't no changes really happening except for Jasmina and Michael. There's some change. But this Elijah and Katina situation is just Elijah, I'm gonna just start with, excuse me, what the fuck are you crying about? Why are we crying? What is that about? Like, excuse my language, but I meant what I said. I don't know what we're crying about. You're crying because you want her to leave you so that she can go ahead and bang it out. You want her to bang it out, bang out this 2 years and her bachelor's degree and get her nursing degree. You want her to bang it out. So if I was her, if she would ask me, that's what I would tell her. Well, she's telling you what she wants. And my biggest problem with Elijah is you are putting what you want onto her. Instead of asking her not asking because you talk about it and she tells you, instead of actually listening to what she wants, you are putting what your dynamic is upon her. So she wants to have kids in 2 years and you think that's not a good idea because you went to college straight out of high school and you went to work and you banged out your student loan. Well, that's not everybody's plight. That's not what everybody can do. That's not how we all made up. Katina didn't want to go to school right after. She did, and she partied all the time and flunked out and is now, in her 30s and doing it over, 28, 29, 30. I don't know, one of them up in there. And now she's doing it. I commend her for doing it. Whatever means necessary, she's still committing. How can you tell her that what she wants isn't good enough? How can you tell her that? For me, listening to you is you telling her,
We lost her there for a minute. Go ahead, Chloe. She'll be back.
You said go ahead.
am I okay? Because
yeah, you back now. Yeah, you back now.
Somehow, like my whole thing started doing something, and my VPN lost connection. And when it loses connection, we can forget it. I ain't got nothing. It's like they trying to get you. That's what how I feel with my VPN. Yeah. So I just feel like he is pretty much telling her to say no. Like every time he opens his mouth, it's him saying, say no. And she isn't hearing that she should have said no a long time ago. She should have said no a long time ago. She even said he's militant and likes things the way he likes them. And then one of the things, we had an argument off camera talking to Dr. Pepper. And I just told her, why don't you just shut up? What? You can never tell me to shut up. What? My mama can't even tell me to shut up. That for me is like, that's like calling me out my name. You know, instead of you saying I need to take a moment, you want to tell me to shut up for a minute because you don't like what I'm saying, because it's really probably going against what you want for me. Every time he opens his mouth, I hear him saying to her, say no. That's what I hear. I no longer hear him being a huge asshole. I hear him saying, say no. Say no because you need to be by your, say no. And I hope she's hearing say no, but I don't think she hears that, you know. And honestly, her wanting to have kids in 2 years, okay, that's a want, but that may not happen. He is not the right person for her. And there's nobody really saying it. They're just telling him, watch the words you say. You know, and just so I'm gonna go back a little bit, when he tells Dr. Pepper that he don't be belittling her, sir, you need to look up the definition of belittle, because you do. You still do. He's not my favorite person. I think that Katina is just silly for staying in this like this. I think that they are doomed. He wants someone that he can control, that he feels has accomplished all their things based on his guidelines and his set of rules. If y'all watch Ready to Love, how Sabrina told Demetrius, you want someone to form to your thoughts and ideas. That is exactly what he wants. I want you to conform to what I say. This is what it should be. It should work like A, B, C, and you're not on my level, so goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye too, because I'm off of that soapbox about Elijah and Katina, and whatever you say, I agree with too.
Oh, you, Chloe. I see it. It's written all over your face.
So, because it's really not much more I could say, right? I just feel like when he made the statement that, how are you going to go to school and have kids and still take care of me? I was like, no. How are you going to take care of kids and still be there for me? Like, y'all remember when I told y'all that if she have a baby by him, he's going to be the one that says, you need to change the baby because that's a woman's job. That's him. This is why
he's the boy, Lindsey. Focus on me. He's the boy, Lindsey. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, absolutely. This is why I call BS on Elijah Wan, and I say this for so many reasons. Elijah Wan supposedly came from the hood. Elijah Wan supposedly pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Elijah Wan supposed to be the one that succeeded in this, that, and the other. So then you should know you should know what it's like to be around people who didn't go straight to school. You should know what it is to have people raise kids, you know, in single families, and you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I've seen single mothers go to school, have babies, get a career, and everything. So for him as a husband who's supposed to be the support system to your wife when you have kids, to make it seem like you don't want no involvement in that. How are you going to take care of kids and go to school? How are you going to take care of kids, go to school, and take care of me? How are you going to make sure there's a home cooked meal, take care of kids, go to school? What are you doing in this? And like I said before, I'm starting to blame Katina too. Because not one time have Katina stood up for herself and gave her expectations, told him what she wants from him as a husband, explained to him how she wants to be treated, how she wants to be talked to, what she demands from him. See, the thing is, Elijah Wan is sitting there wanting her to bend over backwards, bend over backwards, bend over backwards, and she is tired. She said it herself. He requires a lot of attention. He requires a lot, because that's what happens when you try to be something that you're not. You're trying to conform yourself to be Elijah Wan's perfect wife, and you're not his perfect wife. Even if you are his wife, you will never be his perfect wife. His perfect wife has to come from the Stepford homes that's already made up like a robot. Whatever you want is my demand. Nah. Elijah Wan really, really, really bothers me, because you sit there and you talk about how you came from this environment. And it's like, how? People who come from that environment sympathize, understand, empathetic to that experience. Coming from a mother who was raised on, coming from a mother when I was raised on food stamps, Section 8, barely nothing. I know what that's like, so I could respect it. If I was a man and I had a woman who was, saying, oh, I want to go to school, I'm encouraging that. Oh, I want to have children, I want to be married, I want to do this, I'm encouraging that. So for you to sit there and try to beat her down because you feel like she won't have time for you is disgusting. It's just disgusting, because what are you there for if she still has to do it all? Why are you there?
Well, it ain't for sex either. For them, let them tell her they ain't having sex, so that ain't it either. I don't know what he did. I don't know. And I just wanted to say real quick, Deborah was, saying why he was crying. No, I understand the reason that he was crying. That he was crying because he wants her to say yes, blah blah blah. I understand what it looks like, but really he's crying because he knows that he's a selfish asshole.
Yeah,
and that's for me. So I mean, I understand why. The look of what he's crying about, but it's really not that. I don't, even if it was, I wouldn't care, because I don't see it. You can just
Elijah wants
to get slapped in the mouth real quick.
That's not why Elijah Wan's crying. Elijah Wan's crying because he wants it to make it seem like he really cares, and he wants her to say no. Okay. I mean, I would want her to really say no, like to make those decisions for herself so she could go ahead and go to school, because that's what I would do. That I care so much complex that he keeps trying to put on, which is why everybody overlooks his antics.
Who overlooks his antics? I don't know nobody that.
Well, not you, but you know.
You see me?
There are some people who
like what? Nobody look at.
It's all those people over there that's consoling him and comforting him on the production and the after party and everything, letting the man do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants. Because as long as he hide behind these tears, whatever he says out his mouth doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He literally tells her, oh, you was out playing when I was going to school. Well, okay, a lot of us did that in our 20s. I got a house and you still live with your mama. Okay, so why are you on Married at First Sight? I'm confused. If you're so great, you're so amazing, why are you on Married at First Sight? Like, come on.
Yeah, and then when he says that to her, it's also a sign of belittling and putting her down.
Yes.
There are some people that coming out of high school wasn't right on their target. They wasn't ready for school. They might have been out of high school. Mentally, they were not ready for school, right?
Exactly.
Or she's doing well in her career now because what she said she was going to be a nurse. Maybe she wants to make a career change. I'm tired of what I'm doing, and I'm going to make a career change. Many people could make career changes and go back to school. So I have a career. I'm doing well because this is where I'm at, but I'm making a career change because I want something else. What I see Elijah Wan has to understand, and what he doesn't do that most men do, when you're married, it's not about you anymore. It is about us. We are on the same team. If you listen to him, it's always about what he did and what he has done. It's never about us. Because what he should have been saying, what he should have said was, Katina, we can make it. We can do it. I will help you. If you want to take extra credits to finish school, I got you. Don't worry about the cooking and cleaning. I'm there. If by some chance you get pregnant in those 2 years, guess what, boo? I got you. because when you have the baby, I work nights. I'll get up. I'll come home. I take care of you. I'll let you finish school. Guess what? I'm going to be in your corner. I'm going to be your biggest supporter. I'm going to make sure that whatever goal we have set. Guess what? You know what? If it's not 2 years, guess what? It might be 3 years down the road. I got you, because we all know you can say 2 years and the girl don't get pregnant for 5. It's just what or 1, right? She don't get pregnant, and she don't get pregnant at all. Anything can happen, right? You plan 2 years. This will always laugh at it. Oh, we're gonna have babies in 2 years. We're gonna have. It doesn't work that way. You can plan whatever you want. It's when the good Lord says that sperm is gonna make that egg and gonna go ahead and be what it is. It's not what you desire or what you want. But again, allow her the opportunity. Be in her corner. Be supportive. Be a husband to help me. Not saying, look, I got mine and you got to get yours. What he should have said was, you know what? He always talked about, I paid my student loan off. You know what? We're going to make sure that you don't get any more student loans, because you got last 2 years. What we're going to do is we're going to cash flow this bad boy, and we ain't going to worry about student loans anymore. We're going to pay the ones that you have down, cash flow for you go to school, and now we're gonna come out on top instead of saying that. That's what he should have said, because the way he look at it, if you balling right now, you got a house and you got no student loan debt, but you got a budget, so you inherited some debt. So get what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure we take care of yours. We're not gonna accumulate anymore, and we're gonna make sure that we're successful, right? We're gonna make sure we're on the right up and up. How much does it cost?
That's too much of a unit. That's too
much.
No.
Yeah,
it's too much, right? So instead of trying to work with her, he's trying to work again and put everything on her. Everything ain't on her. No. It's on you. What load are you lightening off of her? Because it's going to be too much. And Dr. Pepper didn't ask, it's going to be overwhelming. Well, if it's overwhelming, what are you taking off of her to make sure it's not overwhelming?
Dr. Pepper too for him, though.
Yeah.
She done that.
Dr. Pepper's tired.
She tired actually everybody. She tired everybody. She was into it, first few seasons. Now look at her. She looked worn and beaten as Katina does, because Katina's bags is just getting worse and worse. Like, she is not getting any rest at all, and
her eyes are bad. You see it, Puffy, like she's been crying. She's tired.
She's been waiting that man hand and foot.
Again, but she has to tell, and that's on her. She has to let him know. You know what? I can't do this. I can't wait on you hand and foot. I can't, right now it's fine. We don't have any kids. It might be summer break. All this other stuff. Again, and I'm telling for something from a standpoint. Jack graduated before I did, 2 years before I did. And so I knew being married, we got married in like October. And I still had like 4 months left in school. We got finished in January. So what I did with that fall semester, I knew I was getting married in October. What do I need to graduate? Okay, I need 21 credits. I took 21 credits per semester to get out of school early. Again, because that's something that you want to do. Again, it's still working, still maintaining a different apartment, living in a different state. She is manageable, but he makes it seem like it's the end of the world. Like, she can't do it. If she was by herself, I say, oh yeah, it's rough. But she has you, a well-able grown man who works, who's able to lighten her load. And when she needs that quiet time, she can get that quiet time. When she needs study time, she can get study time. When she needs to go to the library and do research, if she's going to be a nurse, when she needs to get up early in the morning and do her clinicals, when she needs to go study for the NCLEX, when she needs whatever she needs to do, you should be able to support. She need, again, his Michael. Michael, even though Jasmina couldn't drive, Michael made flashcards. He was helping her out, right? Elijah wants to have nursing terms and terminology on the car. Here you go, baby. What's this? Here you go. What's that? Yeah. A guy listen to, whatever she needs from him, he should be willing to give to her to make sure that, look, you're taken care of, you well. You need a break this weekend, go get a massage, right? Because I got my student loan and my house paid off. So if you need, so taking care of all this stuff instead of making it about him, because Talisa, you said it. He is like Lindsey. He makes everything about him, and it's not everything's about him. And I don't know about y'all. Have y'all noticed in these last episodes, Katina talks less and less? Last
episode, she barely talked at all.
And when Dr. Pepper was asking questions, she wasn't answering. He answered everything. Two of them.
And she just sat there and said, Dr. Pepper specifically said Katina.
I told you, he's grooming her like pimps do. I told you that long time ago.
He doesn't allow, and that's because he likes to talk, and she should know that she has a voice. And it's not his. Her voice is her voice. It's not his. I'm interested to see. I think they do see it. I'm interested to see how they pan out. Even with his going back to the hood. I understand what he was trying to say. If you watched the after party, he couldn't get it out. I understand because we didn't really see him read his letter. He didn't read at all.
I'm about to belittle him. So I don't even know how to form a sentence correctly.
Until he humbles himself and understand where he came from and realize that, of course, everyone don't got their ish together. I don't want to hear him because he feels as though because he was able to do it, everyone else should have done it too. That's his mindset, and I don't like that.
Right, and even his mindset, I know where it comes from. When you're an athlete, he's like, "Oh, I made it out." But again, you probably had a partial scholarship, right? You didn't have a full load of college. Yep. Again, you had some help along the way.
You had some help, regardless of what you say about her upbringing. You had some help.
You had some help, and he forgot that he had some help along the way. You had a scholarship, partial or full, I don't know, but it helped you in some way to pay off your student loans. The house you live in, whether it was your grandma gave it to you or whatever, it may not be as expensive as a brand new home it is now. So you was able to pay it off because you didn't have this. Someone helped you along the way, and all she's asking for as your spouse is for some of the same help.
Yeah, but she's not asking for nothing. She's not asking for nothing.
Yeah, she's not asking. He should be willing to give. He should be willing to give that help.
I don't know if he doesn't know what that looks like. I don't think he's ever seen anyone be supportive of his mother or any of the women around him. And so now I feel like maybe because he saw his mother, his grandmother do all these things on their own, that he thinks that she should be able to do on her own, and that he can do his thing with his money and she can do her thing with their money, that they are not a collective. This is not a unit. We do not collaborate. I don't care if we, because she gonna take his last name if they, stay married. I don't care if you carry my last name. I don't care if it says by law we're married. You financially, we are separate. So if you start to crash, sir, it's gonna affect your credit. That is your wife. So you better figure that shit out.
You didn't figure it out too, because again, in some states, and I don't know how they sign prenups and married at first sight. They have to redo the whole thing over again before they get married at first sight. They sign prenups, from what I found out reading on it. Because just in case you get divorced, the person saying I'm not entitled to your house, whatever the case may be. I don't know how long the prenups last, but they do sign prenups. But she has to have a voice, and she has to somehow have to speak up, because he just can't. Even with the church thing, right? And this is, did you notice in the church scene, she was talking about raising the kids in church, and he was like, "Oh, that's okay." Like he didn't really go, but if that's what you want to do, go ahead and just send them, and you go. Again, you have to be, even with that, you have to be on the same page. Religion, money, and politics mess up a marriage. You have to be on the same page somehow. Religiously, it's not going to work, because she seemed like she has all her faith in God. She seems like a page with me without saying it.
Definitely that page syndrome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my man.
He definitely is in 1950s, because I remember my grandfather not going to church with my grandmother, and we would all go. His children would go. We would go. And it wasn't until he was older that my grandfather started going to church. He had to be like 70. And then he was going every Sunday and even joined the choir. And we would laugh because, we were a little older. And my 70-something-year-old grandfather up there singing in the choir, not moving. He just moving his mouth. He didn't know the words, but he was, so it just kind of reminds me he has that kind of syndrome. Like he thinks that that's where we still are.
Yeah. And that's what he does. I can't, and it's because you can tell that she comes from a family where they try to keep everything together. Everything try to be right. Everything has to be a certain way, and she's not letting loose. I want to see. I think one of you guys said earlier about Mark giving Lindsey something that we don't see. I want to see Katina give him something that she allegedly gives him on camera. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to definitely see.
So pop-up chat and pop-up bot. I hate that. With all my passion, I hate that.
So I want to see her give him just some type of give it to him. Give it to Elijah on TV one good time.
Right, because him having to tell her, him getting angry enough to tell her just shut up means she was saying something that was definitely jabbing him, and I hope she just kept on.
Yeah, but see, that's disrespect too. We've been married 20 years. I think I know I've never told my wife to shut up.
No, I think Jackie would fight you if you told her to shut up.
Oh yeah. She, but again, but it has to be in you to tell somebody that you care about to shut up. That's how you talk all the time. He can't even switch it to the point to be respectful in their arguments. So you imagine what he gives her on camera, what he gives her off camera, and what he says off camera.
It's worse.
It's worse. You can see that he's polished sometimes. He's gotten used to the camera thing. I'm gonna tell you how. You even watched last week how he had the t-shirts made. When there was the t-shirts he had made for them last week.
Not at you.
Yeah. So even then, you got to read between the lines. He's trying to convince himself that I need to do better. I'm trying to convince myself that I need to talk to her right. But you don't talk to her right.
You don't.
And you can't keep beating a person down and expect them to be okay. And I really understand why they don't have sex, because probably she don't want to.
Nah, she wants to.
No, I was going to say, if he said it, she would give, and maybe that's probably what they need to do, and that's probably the problem, because if he gets some good, then he might just shut up. See, I tell him to shut up. He might just shut up. Shit.
I'm thinking to myself, how do we get to shut up in an argument? I'm playing out scenarios in my head of arguments, and I'm hearing, listen, I'm hearing, you're not letting me speak. I hear, you're not understanding. I hear, like, come on, like, would you just let me finish saying what I'm hearing so many things. I'm trying to figure out where in this conversation do we get to the shut up? And I've had some real heated arguments with my husband.
Right.
Even if we're cursing, because we curse. But we never got to that point of shut up. I've heard, like, you won't let me finish what I'm saying. You don't listen. You always want to keep rambling. I hear that. I'm hearing everything except for shut up. So I'm trying to think.
Shut up is when I'm on the street and I'm about to come for you. And my shut up has the TF
word in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the shut up. Is right. What my shut up is. So I don't understand where they are in a marriage that would cause you to shut up. Like I said, I wasn't the best wife when my husband was living, but I never said shut up. I never told him to shut up. And he wasn't talking much no way when I was on a rampage. So then there's that. So
that's what I'm just thinking. Like, how did we get there?
Yeah, it's very, very disrespectful. High vibe. Telling someone to shut up is even if you shut up and listen. No, it's no shut up at all. Calmly, can you just listen? Let's take a moment. I mean, we're not perfect, but I don't hear shut up coming out of my mouth to someone that I claim to care about, that I'm crying about because I want them to do what's best for them. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
I don't like him. Like, you don't like Noy. I don't like him, and everything he does and says, how he blinks and breathes, works my nerves. They show me on the screen, I want to turn it off and fast forward.
It's the whole season for me.
Yeah, they like him though. They like Elijah one because he's a character. He's not Chris, but he's just enough. He gives you just enough that either you can like him or you can hate him. And when I say people can either like him or hate him, because what he says sometimes is correct, makes sense, but the method and the way he says it and how he delivers it is like, bruh,
he's a baby right. Samuels.
Yeah. Yeah, it means right because you want a wife to be able to, y'all can be on the same page and y'all can still step right and she can cook and you can come on. It's fine, but if that's not where your wife is at, that's where she's not at. So where are you pulling up the slack at, right? Because he lost me a little bit when he told me I had to sweep the floor up, bro. You act like you had like 15 kids in the house and it's like chalk, Kool-Aid, all over the house. Sweep that bad boy up. And look, if she's tired, she works in the morning. You up at night. So I mean, we didn't deal with that dynamic because you up at night. So you work at night. So your bodies are used to and adjusted doing this. She had to go to bed because she works in the morning. This is her sleep schedule. So he always looks at it, and I think y'all said it, is about him, the way he thinks. He wants her to think like him and not like Katina. He wants her to march to his drum and not the drum of theirs together. He doesn't understand how to compromise. He doesn't understand how to formulate a plan for their marriage. He doesn't understand the rule of engagement. He wants to be the head, but the head doesn't walk around their house saying, I'm the head all the time. The head doesn't have to beat itself on the chest. He's the head. Because again, by the way you act, the way you treat the queen, the way you perform allows people to understand and know that you are the king and that you take care of her. Because she'll sing your praises when you're not around. And we haven't heard Katina say one good thing.
Not one good thing. Good point. Good point. What'd you say, Chloe?
I said I ain't here to say nothing.
Nothing.
Not a good thing, a bad thing, just nothing.
Right. Except for the fact that she's walking with and I don't know why they made me mad with that. I don't know why they can't say alpaca. They call it everything except for alpaca. When they was walking, the dog, the sheep, the gazebo, the llama, whatever. No, it's an alpaca. Alpaca. At least get it right. But yeah, she doesn't say nothing. Think about, I can't be with him. Don't let him speak. That's the thing that got me. She does not talk. When they're together and someone's asking a question, she just sits there. You know how we said Mark has a look? Katina sits there like this.
At least Mark tried to give it to Lindsey. Katina says nothing.
Nothing. And which tells you that she is conforming to that whole.
It's sad.
It's really, and I knew from the beginning, but I wanted to give him the option to show me wrong. And he just cannot. I don't even think 10 years from now, he's going to be a different person because he doesn't even recognize that any wrongdoing. Anything anybody shows him, he denies or justifies what his behavior is like. With that, he won't ever, it's going to be a long time before he recognizes that he is in the wrong for a lot of things. It's going to be a long time. And he ain't going to go get no help either. So.
Nah. With that being said, that's it for our couples. We're getting closer to decision day. Last week, they're getting ready to separate this week on Married at First Sight. So they get ready to go their separate ways and get ready to make their decision. What's our closing thoughts? I know you're tired of the season already. It's too long, first of all. I think me and Chloe was talking about this before we came on air. Too many specials. Matter of fact, you don't have to give me 5 weeks of weddings.
No.
You can give me the one wedding on the first episode and give me everything else afterwards, and I'll be fine. The honeymoon and all that. Don't keep leading. I don't even need background story because we can figure these people out beforehand. Don't give me background. Just give me the wedding.
Absolutely.
You can take out this whole episode too, the whole Dear Younger Self episode, because what's the point? None of them are learning anything from it, and we're not seeing any really true. Jasmina gave us a little bit. Because that activity is meant to show you so you can reflect and see where you were and where you are, and really just it's a healing moment. And they don't look like it.
If you're gonna do it at the beginning.
I would like if they added like a little therapy, like one-on-one or group sessions every week. That would be nice. Take away the weddings. I see you having real therapy sessions together or separately.
Something.
Yeah. So Coco Brown experience answer. Everyone had a letter. They just didn't show Steve's. Everyone does a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody does one. They just didn't show Steve. They didn't show Elijah ones as well. Neither. But everybody writes one. So that's where. Closing thoughts, you guys.
So my decision day was like 3 weeks ago. Honestly, I have not made a review since then. I did make a video, but it wasn't a review. It was like a recap of like the last 2 weeks that I missed, and then like my letter to Married at First Sight telling them that they suck. And then so yeah, I've been kind of checked out. I still watch it on my channel, of course, with my subscribers. And if I feel like I want to talk about something, I do that, but I'm just over it. I will review the actual reunion if that gives what it's supposed to give. But I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all know I can thug out a season, okay? But this season has really, really hit me different. And I don't know if it's like the consistent same thing, like everything's the same. Like there's nothing new. We got the same, we're talking about the same thing every week. There's no excitement. The drama's not real drama. It's like forced created drama. It's a lot of toxic abuse, manipulative. It's a lot of that going on, and I don't like it. It's one thing to have like, regular drama. Ha 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 ha. It's another thing to be like verbally abusive to people and to like just like I don't like this season. Nothing about this season does it for me. I'm just so unpleased with the whole cast. Like literally everyone, like everyone. And and some people through association. Like it's not Michael's fault. It's not really, Katina's fault, but I'm just over all of it. And so for me, I just need a reset. Like I don't know what they did with this season, but if they continue this way, I can't continue this way.
Nah, I totally agree with you. And I think this season has dragged. I think it's just too many episodes dragged along. And when you drag stuff along and you don't see any improvement except for Jasmina and Michael, and that's just a little bit of improvement, it makes you like, okay, and then you don't see the experts as much to try to help them. At least they were talking in past seasons, you would see them a lot and they gave you a chance to cut your marriage early, or they gave you more advice and they talked to you more. Now it seems like these guys are fending on their own and not doing what they need to do. And I think also with me, you don't see anybody challenging those people who are being, I'm going to say abusers for the lack of a better term. You don't see anybody challenging Lindsey. You don't see anybody challenging Elijah one.
Yeah.
Even to challenge them. And even you don't even see anybody challenging Steve. Like, okay, bro, if she wants you to see a job, what are you doing? Yeah. Why haven't you showed her any numbers yet? Why haven't you see her? How come she doesn't see you do some work on the computer? How come, those type of things? Noy, why is it that you're not taking the expert's advice and not posting on social media? You like social media more than you love your husband? Just those type of things where in the past, the experts would challenge them on these situations. Who's the expert that married the one cast member? Dr. What was her name? The one that married a guy from Boston. I liked her because she would challenge
before Viviana.
Yeah, before Viviana.
Jessica.
Yeah, Dr. Jessica. Dr. Jessica, if you go back to that season, the season that she was on, she would challenge all the couples. And when you was messing up, she would challenge you. And she would tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to change. And even Dr. Pepper early on, it seemed like even Dr. Pepper's gotten tired.
She's tired. And it's because they're really just they're not even trying, it seems like. Like, honestly, you guys, we've been talking about the same issues with these couples. So you mean to tell me they've been together for almost 2 months now and they only have one issue?
Right.
Like, every relationship has one issue. Just one? Okay, cool. Yeah. There's no dynamic. There's nothing. There's no feeling. You know how at least one season we're like, oh, I love this couple. Oh, I hate this couple. We just like, to all of them. Nothing.
We either like one person out of the couple, or we like none of them. You like one or nobody. So, oh man, Talisa, your closing thoughts. I ain't mean to cut you off, Chloe. Your closing thoughts.
Okay.
Anything else?
Where Chloe will thug something out, I will never thug it out. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. And as you can see, I have not being here. I enjoy conversing with you guys here, but I don't have to do it on my channel. I can come over here and do it on your channel if I want to. But I don't really have like much to say. Chloe said it all. It is the same. A part of the reason that I do stop or may watch it at the last minute is because I can come on here and talk to y'all about what's happening without even seeing what's happening. I can let you go first and then just feed off of you because it is the same issues. No one has made any progress. And maybe this is their biggest issue. Like, I don't know. At least I'm going to give it to Lindsey and Mark. At least they're giving us, it's the same issue, but it's an array of, the array of issues, but the same one, which is, I'm going to give it to them for providing us with some entertainment. But I'm going to be here because it's only a couple weeks left. So I'm going to be over here with you, Glenn. Thugging it out with you over here.
I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for thugging it out with us. Hey, make sure y'all go to TalisaRay.com and get this journal that Talisa Ray has.
Yes. You only got a couple more days. You got a couple more days for pre-order where you get free shipping and a gift. After this, after April 30th, it will be shipping and no gift. You will be responsible for shipping, and there will be no gift. So if you get it now, thank you for that, Glenn. I wasn't even gonna mention it. And for those of you who purchased a journal already, I'm so grateful to you. You will be receiving your journals about the second week in May. I'm really excited about them, and I really want your honest opinions. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. I be hurting people's feelings all the time. So just don't worry about mine. It's all constructive criticism. Thank you, Glenn. That was great. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And Chloe, you got anything? I know. Make sure y'all go join Chloe's membership. I have to do that. I just haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna make sure I take care of it.
Yes.
Make sure you support everybody. Make sure you support everybody. Anything else you got to promote, Chloe? You're writing a book. You right?
Nah, I ain't doing nothing over there. Ain't doing nothing. When the time comes, you will know.
Thank y'all for joining us. Hope you guys have a great night. Go ahead, enjoy, and we'll catch you next week as we review Married at First Sight. But once again, appreciate each and every one of you. Thank y'all, and goodbye.
Bye.